My vote for Trump in 2016 was mainly to keep out sociopath Hillary from the presidency. Jill Stein, if you run, you have my vote for 2020. We didn't have much to choose from. Trump, though a narcissist, was the lesser of two evils. The problem with Trump is what he says and what he does are two different things. With Hillary, you have the same problem, and even worse, because she actually endorsed murder to accomplish her ends. Trump is faulty more through neglect, and that he doesn't carry through on promises that might cost him an election as he sees it. Like most narcissists, Trump knows exactly what to say to impress people, but what he says and does don't align. Stein didn't stand a chance in 2016, so I mainly voted to keep out Hillary. I chose a narcissist over a sociopath. You might say, what about Bernie? Well, that's why I can vote for who I truly like now, because if Bernie gets in, it won't horrify me as much as if Hillary got in. Hillary is 100% Loree's cuck. Bernie's a cuck too, but not as bad as Hillary. Their platform matters less to me than who they are as a person. Besides, no politician ever completely keeps their campaign promises. That's why who they are is the most important thing for me. Trump, as president, has become a deep state warmonger, and he hasn't built the wall as he promised and is terrible at immigration. Hillary would have been far worse in everything, so I have no regrets that I voted for Trump. But now with Hillary not running, I can vote for Stein, Jill Stein now. I've pretty much given up on politics and will vote my conscience. You might say, you're a Christian. Christians always vote conservative. Well, they usually do. But I've always been a centrist since Brent Spiner came into my life. We have a problem with sanity in our culture, and Jill seems more sane than most politicians. I'm pretty good at sniffing out narcissists and sociopaths who are ruling both the Republican and Democratic parties right now. I'm basically trying to get someone in who's neither narcissist or sociopath. Not easy when you have sociopath Loree McBride pulling the strings of both major political parties and creating smear campaigns against the saner candidates. Loree focuses on Trump because she views him as the greatest threat to her power. Basically, what you're seeing in the mainstream media is a power play between a sociopath, Loree McBride, and a narcissist, Donald Trump. Both Trump and Loree like to control people. I would say that Trump is a weak narcissist and Loree is a strong sociopath. These two are duking it out and in the process seem to care nothing about the welfare of the people they're governing in the process. Of course, if Hillary was in, it would be far worse. Hillary would do exactly as sociopath Loree McBride would want. Loree has a sociopath army, and Hillary is part of that army. If Jill Stein stood a good chance of winning, Loree would unleash the forces of hell against Jill as she has Trump. Loree's hitting Jill, but not as hard as she's hitting Trump for this reason. Trump, being a narcissist and consumed with his image, spends too much time debating online and should focus more on doing his job. I don't think Jill Stein stands a chance in hell of being elected, but she seems more sincere and genuine than most politicians of either party. Basically, she says what she really believes, which is a real no-no in today's world. Trump says what he needs to say to get elected, along with most of those who win elections. Alex Jones really condemns Jill Stein as stupid because she wanted a recount in states where Hillary should have won, and says Jill did this to try and take out Trump in the 2016 election. Actually, I think Jill did it because she knew Hillary would accuse her of helping out Trump by running, and she wanted to cover her butt. I don't agree with Jill and everything, but she seems more sincere than most politicians. Alex Jones does need to calm down, though. Trump needs to be more sincere, and Hillary needs to stop being a Loree McBride sociopath. Bernie should probably run on the Green Party ticket simply because it would put less pressure on him to pander to his Democrat base like Trump's doing to his Republican base right now. Both major political parties are controlled by sociopath Loree McBride. If Bernie ran on the Green Party ticket, I might vote for him. We really need a divorce from the two-party system. Loree controls both major parties. You might say, but Bernie and Jill are socialists. Well, among conservatives, being a socialist is akin to being a communist. I look at it this way. At least they're honest about who they are. Trump behaves like a Soviet Lenin communist when it comes to foreign policy right now. Trump's a hypocrite. At least Bernie seems a humble, sincere person, even if his policies may seem unworkable. If I had to choose between a humble, sincere person who's a bit wacky or a narcissist like Trump who tells you what you want to hear but behaves like a communist, I'd take the humble person. This doesn't mean I'd vote for Bernie, though. I'm not impressed with how Bernie caved into Clinton when she stole the 2016 election from him. I'd like to see more evidence that Bernie has the courage of his convictions, like if he joined the Green Party. I don't agree with Jill and everything, but she seems more honest and transparent than most politicians. With her, what you see is what you get. This is not the case with Trump, Clinton, and perhaps Bernie. Right now, I don't plan to vote in 2020. I disagree with the Green Party on immigration. But then what Trump does regarding immigration and what he says are different. Trump is worse on immigration than Obama was when it comes down to actual policies. I mainly voted for Trump because he seemed like a person who wouldn't kiss the deep state's butt. I was wrong. He's pandering to his base and pretending like he's doing all he promised during the campaign, but he's caving into the deep state if it costs him Republican deep state support. He's catering to the big money people in the Republican Party, something he promised not to do, especially the military part of the deep state. He is not a man of his word. He doesn't keep his promises. He's kissing the butt of Loree McBride's corrupt Jew clone base. So that is the reason that I don't plan, probably right now I will not be voting in 2020. I'm just totally disillusioned with all politicians right now. The problem that I have with Trump is he bombed Syria several times, and he didn't need to do that. Also, from what I've heard from my men, Russia has not actually been in Syria. You're getting so many lies in mainstream news. They have not been in Syria, and no, I believe Vladimir Putin pulled out of Syria almost 7 years ago. So all this stuff about, I hear he was actually playing golf in Syria. So what's going on in Israel, now I like the fact that Trump moved I like the fact that Trump moved the embassy to Jerusalem. But what I don't like is it appears that Loree McBride is ruling Israel right now. And that means, even though I am a deep student of Bible prophecy and I believe that that we should not become anti-Semitic, you have to, I'm Jewish, by the way. I'm half King David, so you can't accuse me of anti-Semitism against my own people. And I'm writing a novel right now with a rabbi as a main character. But the problem is the Jewish nation is in a state of sin right now. They are, from what I believe, Loree McBride is running the Jewish nation right now. This doesn't mean we should become anti-Semitic. This doesn't mean that I believe in a Palestinian state, because I do not. I think they deserve all their land. However, Israel does not need to be aggressive against Iran. Loree McBride has created Jew clones, and I believe they're running the nation of Israel right now, and they're running the economic systems of most of the world right now, and they're running most of politics. They're behind much of the the hysteria that you're getting about Russia, all the lies in the mainstream media. The mainstream media is a joke. I've quit watching the news. I don't even watch Fox News anymore. So all I'm saying is, and Trump is pandering to these Jew clones. You might say, why is he doing this? I'm not sure. I'm not sure why he's doing this. Maybe it has something to do with his daughter and the fact that she's married a Jew. I don't know. But the Jewish nation is in sin right now. They are not following God. Believe me, they are worshiping Satan. Yes. You know, they never would have gone into exile and been kicked out of their land if they didn't start doing devil worship and idol worship. They're doing it again. This doesn't mean that the nation's not going to be saved in the tribulation, because I believe they will be. This doesn't mean they're not going to be the lead nation in the millennium. And this doesn't mean that we should try to install a Palestinian state in there. But right now, the Jewish nation is in sin. They are allowing Loree McBride to run the nation of Israel. And the Jewish Brent Spiner can't even get his Twitter. The Brent Spiner clone has taken over Brent's Twitter. And he's making Brent look bad. I want to tell you, Brent Spiner fans out there, when you go to Star Trek conventions and that clone acts really snooty towards you and treats you like trash, especially if you pronounce data instead of data, and he makes a big deal out of it and looks at you like, oh, how I shouldn't even associate with you because you don't know how to pronounce data. That's not Brent Spiner. Brent Spiner he's not stuck on himself like that. He's a very private person, and he doesn't really like going to Star Trek conventions that much. He's not. It's not that he thinks he's better than his fans, but he's not uppity about being a Star Trek celebrity like the clone is. I mean, the clone's really stuck on himself. He's a proud, arrogant Loree McBride, Cuckosaurus Rex. So. And I wouldn't be surprised if it's possible the Brent Spiner clone, along with Loree McBride, is running the nation of Israel. And Donald Trump is listening to these evil Jews in carrying out foreign policy and everything. Vladimir Putin is on my marriage list. He is not a threat to the United States, but Loree McBride needs to make him a threat because she wants to eliminate him and even kill him. So she can rule as a sociopath like Adolf Hitler over the entire earth. And Trump is caving in to Loree McBride's Jew clones. The Loree McBride's Jew clones are running the U.S. military. We don't need to expand the military. We need to cut our military. That's why I like Jill Stein. And we don't need to, we need to cut our military spending. We need to join up with Russia. We need to have an alliance with them. And you might say, well, they violated the 1987 treaty. Who cares? It's a stupid treaty. We've been in an alliance. You know why they violated it? Because we've been in an alliance with them. We are in a military alliance, the Empress and President of the United States. We are in an alliance with Russia. Vladimir Putin is my ally. They violated the treaty because we are in a military alliance. We're sharing our military resources with each other. We don't need to be their enemy. Loree McBride needs for them to be our enemy so she can cause division between me and Vladimir and take over the world. And then you know what's going to happen? When Loree McBride takes over, you're going to have a sociopath running the planet. Hillary Clinton was Loree McBride's sociopath partner. And Donald Trump is not, he's a little bit better than Hillary, than his military policies. I'm very, very disappointed in him. You need to cut spending on the military, get an alliance with Russia, and quit lying about Putin. He's not our enemy.